thank you, Denise, for joining us. So, Denise, you're from Diana Distribution, which is the distribution arm of Mandarin Restaurants.
Yep.
And Mandarin Restaurants, can you tell us a bit about it? I know it's a family business of yours.
Yeah, my uncle and my dad started the business 35 years ago. So I am part of the next generation. There's 22 locations now. There's 2 corporate stores and the restaurant franchise. 2 years ago, we opened our distribution center. And then, I guess, a year after that, we started distributing basically 95% of the stuff the restaurant uses. So there's only 2 companies delivering direct to store, and everything else from frozen shrimp to bleach comes out of our warehouse.
Perfect. And I know that you went right to Minotaur from the get-go.
Yeah.
And when you were looking at systems, I remember that you had some very specific criteria of what you would need in order to meet your needs. Let's pop over to the next slide. So you had, one of the big critical things you were looking for was that you had an order entry challenge where orders, they needed to, you were doing delivery 7 days a week. And how big is your warehouse and how many trucks are you running?
100,000 square feet, we had 10 trucks. And we go to each location, gets 2 frozen deliveries and 2 dry deliveries and 3 or 4 fresh deliveries a week.
Okay. And so that was part of the key differentiator, was that you delivered to everyone every day, but you had different trucks that were refrigerated versus dry, and so not every store got the same products every day, so that was another order entry challenge. And then finally, the orders were placed by there were different people, front restaurant and back restaurant.
Yeah. So every restaurant has 5 managers, so there's 2 in the kitchen and 3 in the front. So the front ones would be responsible for ordering the bar stuff and the placemats and the plates, and the kitchen ones would be responsible for ordering the food.
Okay. And then also you needed that, because of the languages in a lot of the restaurants, you needed to be able to have them order in English and Chinese.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at the results of what we came up with here in your Minotaur system. So one of the things you'll notice first is that there's tabs across the top for the different types of items, and those are set up using an item attribute or an item category?
Categories.
Categories, okay. It would show only for each one of those tabs, it would show the available days they could order those particular items.
Right.
And then there's descriptions, of course, in both languages. And how did you get the both languages? How does that work?
We put the English name first and then the Chinese name separately, but it's all in the same item description.
And then you have it so that, what happens at 4 o'clock every day?
So in this screen, they're allowed to get deliveries Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So the day before at 4 p.m. is the cutoff time. So after 4 p.m. on Sunday, the Monday column disappears, so they can't go in and edit it or change it anymore.
Perfect. And does it show them like next Monday?
We have 2 screens, so we have a current week and then we have next week.
Oh, right. I think I actually have that on the next line.
Yeah.
So basically, for the restaurant experience of what they're seeing, they're into a live Minotaur system at their distribution center, coming over terminal server. You'll notice that they are not getting the menu items across the top, so they're not seeing those other menu items. They are seeing 2 options. And this is done by going in through handheld mode, so I know anybody who's running handheld, you know that the top bar has gone away. So that's something possible for you to do. And then there's just those 2 options. And when they click to enter orders, then they get this little window, which helps them decide if they're...
Yeah, so this window you can choose if you're ordering for this week or next week. And then if you're getting the dry stuff, the fresh stuff, or the frozen stuff. And then if you're ordering items for the kitchen or the front. So depending on those 3 things, different things show up in that previous order screen.
Excellent. And so how is it working for the restaurants now?
Well, there was a little bit of a learning curve because before we started, they were writing the orders down and then faxing them in, and then we would type them into the system ourselves. So Now, this saves us a lot of time.
Right.
So in the beginning, it was a little bit difficult for them because they weren't used to using a computer, and they weren't used to using anything like this at all. So once they got over it, it's been pretty good. It's been good for us anyway.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
That's awesome.
So does anyone have any questions for Denise? This is just sort of one way in which we've helped some of our customers solve order entry challenges, because that's obviously, oh, yeah, we've got a question right over here.
How did you go about the training of all the employees?
I did it. I just, because they have meetings every week, so I would just go attend one of their meetings and show them how to do it.
Did you go to each location,
Yeah.
to the stores?
Yeah.
All right.
And their meetings are late.
Yep. 11 o'clock at night.
Yep.
After the restaurant closes.
It's part of being in a family business,
Yep.
right? Any other questions for Denise about their order entry system? How many people have been to a Mandarin restaurant? There you go. Perfect. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.